Episode 61, The Predictive Test. I was very fortunate to be in the audience, to be interviewed on a program called Where There's Life, run by a lady called Miriam Stoppard, wife of Tom Stoppard, the writer, back in 1984. It was at a time when the subject was on Huntingdon's disease, which I already had. A brother had died of it that year and a sister was dying of it, and I was one of 5, and it kills 50%. So 2 sisters hadn't got it because they were now too old to get it. One younger daughter had, and my brother had, all died in their 40s. And I was on this program, and it was about the fact that there was a predictive test which would tell you if you were to get it, but offer you no cure, certainly in one's lifetime. I argued that, and I literally said this, I have the tape recording of it somewhere, I said by 2010 they would have found a cure for it. And so, I want to take it because even if I'm going to die, at least and my children are under the threat of it, well, there'll be a cure for it. Of course, here we are 10 years after that, and there's still no cure. It's very similar to Parkinson's disease, being a genetic illness, and some progress has recently been made with Parkinson's disease, but the money goes to cancer relief, and you can't fault that as a charity. But Huntington's disease simply does not get any priority, or there are no highlights. It affects so few people. It only affects perhaps 90,000 people all over the world. But when it's in your family, it's absolutely devastating. But what I want to describe to you is the decision I made to have a predictive test. I had to go to Guy's Hospital and have counselling for 2 years, all in all, before I took the test. I also then, they took a blood sample from my sister who got it, from my mother who didn't have it because it came from my father's side, and me. And by comparing the 3 blood samples, they were able to say whether or not I was going to get it. I had it in my genes. And the thing I want to share with you is the moment that the letter came in 1987, and I was alone in the house, and I received the letter. I knew exactly what it was from the markings, and it sat on my knee for 10 minutes, just looking at the envelope, knowing it was either my death sentence or freedom, not just for me, but for my children and my grandchildren and so forth. We have since then lost about 7 members of family from my brothers and sisters' side, and it's still going on very sadly. We're still losing cousins in the family. But I sat with that letter until I felt no more emotion at all. When I felt no emotion at all, then I was ready to open it. And strangely enough, and I opened it, and it said, I now have less than 1% of dying of it. I didn't feel any emotion, any sense of relief, just a sense of completion. My sister, who's still alive at 94, she didn't want to know the future. She said the future's in God's hands. And I say, no, if we can know what's going to happen to us, it will be a good thing. And here I am in a home for the dying, and it's a good thing. I like to know where I am. If this is what's going to happen, bring it on. Bring it on. But be ready. Wait that 10 minutes before opening the envelope. Life is much simpler then. Blessings on you and those you love. Patrick.